Hey, hey, welcome back, everybody.
We're clubbing. We're clubbing in this game.
Yep, time to finish what we started.
Yeah.
Oh my freaking god.
Wow, that's a good start.
Well, I did
Did you
hit
did
the
you start the
star.
exploit again?
Yeah, like I just did it out of instinct when I started the game. I looked for the star, and what do you know? We start the game with a golden hand.
You know what? Better than nothing, I
So,
suppose.
for anyone who wants to give this game a shot and has come across this series and hasn't done so yet, remember, look for the big star. It's usually the fifth one, though it can sometimes be different. And when it starts to eclipse the bottom of the screen on the right side for the first 3 to 4 dungeons, that's going to give you a golden hand encounter.
Yep. So now you know that for making the combat a bit more trivial.
Mm-hmm.
Or not trivial, but just a bit better for you.
Yeah, a little easier to pick up and play.
The enemy ran away! Oh, Sensei's back on his feet!
Okay, this one does not like me.
Oh, Sensei's back on his feet!
I mean, with a lot of these rare enemies, it tends to be luck-based.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, he ran. Oh well. Still good luck to have ran into him. I get a little experience.
Yeah.
I say that as I level up.
Yeah.
Survive dark. Let's see.
But yeah, with Jordan's exploit, he managed to get, like, close to 10 levels before reaching this dungeon.
Yeah. Actually, wait. Let's see. Survive dark versus double vision. Reduce damage from fire. Survive lights on there. Medium. Exhaust one foe. Yeah, I don't really need that. There we go. Now it's more defensive. So, yeah, they'll probably give the Neko Shogun, like, survive whatever it can't survive.
Yeah.
Holy crap. We are moving.
Yeah, I mean, you're... Well, what do you expect? You're super over-leveled.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the whole adage of like, oh, I saw idols when I was a girl, and it's like, it looked so fun, and I wanted to be fun like that, and it's like...
Yeah, it's like you didn't realize the dark reality of it, though, did you, when you were a small girl?
Yeah...
The seedy
well, I mean,
underbelly of the business.
well, I mean, kids normally don't.
No,
but...
I mean, that's... You wouldn't want them to. I mean, they're all going to go through an edgy phase, but you don't, like, literally want that for them.
No.
And anyone
and
who
it's
does,
not,
like, screw you.
like, it's just... I don't know. I don't know. It's just... It's depressing that kids end up idolizing a lot of these industries that, you know, bring them a lot of joy, but that joy is that joy is being brought about through a lot of really awful bullshit. I mean, as we discussed in the last part with the whole...
with McGurdy and all that, like...
The Jeanette McCurdy and the whole thing.
Yeah. There we go. We're just gonna run through here. I like the whispering ASMR voice in this song. You don't know a single thing it's saying, but it's just like it does something for me.
I can make out sorry, I want the music louder, but that's it. That I can make out those words, but that's it.
Oh, poor Teddy. I'm all empty. I might just have to come back here later to, like, farm materials.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's usually the
Purple
thing
suit.
with a lot of the side quests around here, right?
Yeah, that's kind of why you would do it. Yay!
Okay.
Purple suit. Alright, make sure I can get around it. I think I saw with, like, P5 you can actually, like, attack enemies in the field and, like, rip their necks up or something. That looks pretty cool.
So in Persona 5, you have kind of a pseudo stealth thing since you're acting as thieves in that game. That's kind of the theme of it.
Hmm.
And what happens is, when you sneak up on an enemy, whether it's like on foot from behind or through like cover that you learn how to maneuver behind, you rip the mask off of them and you're essentially given your full turn from the start. If the enemy gets the drop on you, they get their turn first. And if you start neutrally, then you know you just have your normal turn order. But then later on, you're actually able to get such a high upgrade that you're able to just straight up nullify conflicts of enemies that are weaker than you. Like, no battle happens if an enemy is below a certain level, and you just gain the experience and even a persona. Which, frankly, is actually kind of really nice. Actually, I don't think you gain the experience. I think you just gain the persona, and the battle just doesn't happen. Like, it's just a straight up upgrade where you do your sneak attack thing, and then you hit the enemy, and then the enemy dies instantly, and you get a persona.
Huh.
Which is kind of nice because a lot of people tend to complain about how grind is a bit annoying.
Yeah, I mean, it can be, but, you know, eventually you just find an exploit that lets you get as many golden hands as you want.
Yeah, but some people just probably think like, well, if certain golden hands are weaker than others in terms of what they have as stats, maybe it should be better if they just knock out that. Like, I remember that being a thing in Earthbound, where if you're super high level compared to a lot of the enemies around you, just straight up delete the fight. Like, you just walk into an enemy and they just out of existence. Just pop out.
Someone else's turn.
Again, it's a preference thing. That's probably why a lot of people prefer Earthbound when it comes to the JRPG stuff, considering, you know, like what we talked about before, JRPGs can be a very mixed thing for a lot of people.
Okay. I'm having bad luck with these guys right now, but...
Yeah, not to mention the whole RNG aspect.
Yeah. Analysis, Rainy Sister, it's weak to... Alright. Okay, that also drains.
But at the very least, you know, you can mitigate the RNG stuff by leveling up as much as you are.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
Most of the RNG, it's like, yeah, I can't single round a golden hand with physical attack, but they were literally designed to kind of resist that.
Yeah. Kind of like how you have...
Jeez.
It's like whenever I grinded for Metal Slimes in Dragon Quest and kind of relied on the prospect of getting criticals or multi-hit attacks, being able to hit at least one. I mean, you've played 8, so you get what I'm talking about. God, I'm wondering... Like,
I still gotta beat 8, but 8's a really good game.
11's also, like, super fantastic, and I'm really, like... I'm seeing buzz around this Dragon Quest Treasures spin-off, which is, like, focused around one of the party members you get in 11, and I'm just like... For people that are excited about that, I'm happy for them, but I kind of would like some info about 12 or the 3 remake, because, you know, those were also announced, and those also sound really cool. And plus, the 3 remake is being done by the people that made Octopath Traveler.
That's gonna be really rad, especially if they use that art style.
It is the art style. Have you not seen the trailer?
I haven't, but that sounds freaking dope.
I'm sending you that trailer. It is, like, it's short, but you'll get it immediately. I remember when I saw the trailer for the first time, I fucking like lost my shit. I thought it was gonna be okay. So in Dragon Quest XI, at the very end of the game, there's this small recreation of the beginning scene of the opening scene of Paramount of the I'm forgetting my words. Opening scene of Dragon Quest III, and in that you see, like, okay, they have it in the art style of 11, so one would think, you know, it'd be a good idea for it to be remade in the art style of Dragon Quest XI, full 3D, you know, big orchestrated bombastic soundtrack. But then it shows the HD 2D style, and I'm like, whoa!
You know, I gotta admit, the polygon clipping through her knee right now really bothers me.
Don't you hate it whenever you grow up and learn about graphics in video games, and then it just ruins moments in video games for you?
Well, not only that, but, like, I probably played this when I was in, like, 7th or 8th grade, and I had a CRT television that was probably, like, maybe 20 inches at best. Like,
Yeah,
you couldn't have seen that.
The whole CRT aspect, like...
Yeah,
like, that's part of the reason why...
a CRT when I get my apartment. Like, I'm gonna get me a nice CRT.
Yeah, my deal is just, like, I recognize it, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me that much, but I understand that that's not the same deal for everybody, because...
Yeah, I like how it softens images.
Like, unless it's something that's super obvious, I'm not gonna really care otherwise. Like, I'm picturing something like the one time where it would bug me is whenever it's like a texture gets freaked across something really unnaturally, or a model is like flickering or something. That's when it'll bug me. But if it's like a clip on occasion or something, that's not gonna break a game's immersion on me.
She's gonna say the line.
Say the line, Bart!
Say the line!
Me! Yeah! Hey!
Yay! Oh boy. And I love this boss. Like, I just love the designs in this game.
It is a good design.
Like, honestly, it's got the Dionysus look from the other SMT games, but just replace her face with a freaking satellite dish.
Yeah, it's a very striking image. Again, that's the thing that we always can compliment these games on, is they really do well with the designs. Again, when I said in Persona 5, when I encountered Fafnir for the first time, I was like, oh my god, that's Fafnir?
Yeah.
Like, that, again, you think of someone, you think of a character designer who's brought this description. It's like, okay, we want you to make a design of a dragon based in Norse mythology, who's just this greedy dragon.
Oh, I didn't even remember it. She made that, like, goo sound. Ugh. That's disgusting.
That's pretty nasty. Yeah.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, it's like her body's made of, like, fresh fettuccine or something.
Yeah. Or like,
Ugh.
or like, putting your hand in some squelchy feta.
Mm.
So
Well, I mean, not exactly, but yeah, this is what we're all going through.
Just a very squelchy sound, and it's not for it.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like sticking
no,
your
that
hand
just-
in. It's like sticking in your hand in all the wet food that was trapped in the dishwasher.
Oh, man.
But did I bring back bad memories?
Oh, dude, I did. Oh, wow. Yeah, no.
I'm not
I mean, you're
wrong.
not wrong. See what she's weak against.
I don't think she's weak against anything.
That might be the case. At which point, you know, I'll just worry about buffs and debuffs, because that's how this
Yeah.
game works usually.
That's how these games usually work, is the buffs and debuffs.
Yeah. Okay, so not weak to anything I'm throwing at her. Well,
Nah, it's like just debuffs and buffs. That's really it.
yeah. Glad I have that.
Yeah, yes, be very glad.
Yeah, I can boost everybody. Foes, increase one allies, hit invasion.
I don't think the silence is going to work. Status elements don't tend to work on bosses.
No.
Although I do remember in Octopath Traveler, when I got to poison a boss, I felt the biggest glee ever. I was like, yes! I can fucking exploit the shit out of this!
Mm-hmm. Holy,
And they're
yep,
actually,
that felt good.
and there actually was an exploit for the Reaper in Persona 5, like OG Persona 5, that people discovered, where if you gave them the despair status, it won't attack you back and it will just die after a bit, so you get the Reaper achievement. And it's like, that's really interesting, but then they fixed it in Royal and it's like, damn it. Did you ever... You probably haven't beaten the Reaper, have you?
Not in this game yet, no.
No,
I
me
think you have to be
neither.
at least level 70 before taking it on, from what I hear.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, even then,
Defeats
you're
the
not
waifu.
guaranteed to survive. It's like, you need to use, wow, I'm forgetting her name, but essentially the Fire Girl, you need her as like your main healer, use Chia as your main damage output, equip a heal and buff persona to the main character, and I think run Yosuke for support. And it's like, that's like the only reliable way to stand a chance until you're like level 80 or 90. It's pretty much like keep buffing and healing the party. He has an instant kill move, and then like keep reviving and just use Chie to chip damage.
Yeah, essentially.
I think, yeah, she
Kind of
no
like
longer
playing
has
neutral
that
in a
issue.
fighting game is like, when you're up against a strong opponent, maybe chipping away in neutral is probably the best option.
Yeah.
I mean, so far you seem to be on top of things with this fight.
Oh yeah.
It's a very tense situation here, because you essentially have two boss fights in this dungeon.
Yeah, you have to go back to back. So like before you kill her, you need to make sure everyone's healed up.
Yup. Although I don't remember, if you lose the fight against Shadow Teddy, don't you just fight Shadow Teddy straight again, or do you have to fight Shadow Rise again?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
And
me-
it may
yeah.
have changed between the original game and Golden.
Yeah,
Because
'cause
in Golden they added
is a
some
Golden
quality
is
of
a
life
tad more
improvements.
fair to people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the thing that you'd say about a lot of the updates is, like, they add a lot of things and they make things a bit better for you in regards to how it's worked. Oh, God. Okay, so the other thing you can improve in is an improvement in 5. You can swap out party members in the middle of battle.
Yeah, that does not happen here. Actually, that
Nope.
kind of sounds like maybe too much of a benefit.
You would be surprised. There are some fights that, you know, despite having everybody on deck, you really can't still end up losing, like with the fucking fight that I had in Persona 5 Royal that makes me feel like I don't want to replay it. And, you know, it's not like it bounced. Like, the thing is that if the protagonist dies, it's game over. So having everybody on deck doesn't change that. All it means is just that you can change your party members out. That's it.
Okay, I guess so.
You know, that's never gonna change. If your main person goes down, then the party does.
Yeah.
Up we go.
All right. But yeah, themes like this whole sexualization thing, is another reason why a lot of people would probably want a Persona game set in college. And it's like, I get that. That makes sense. But considering that we're talking about an industry that does exploit young girls like this, it makes sense for this game, for it to be in high school, for Rise to be a high school idol, all that. Actually, I kind of wonder what kind of themes you'd encounter in a Persona game in college.
I'm sure they could probably go a bit more SMT and go a bit darker than what the series likes to do if they did that.
Probably, I think maybe, well, I'm also thinking social link wise, not just, you know, main story.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking maybe there could be some social link stuff talking about a hell of a lot of possible modern themes that could be interesting, like the prospect of career paths and what is and is not considered a valid career path. And considering that it most likely take place in Japan, you'd be experiencing some possible characters being like, oh, I want to be an artist, but my father's like, no, you will, no, because artists aren't going to get you a respectable reputation with everybody, because that's all that matters to us, you know, because that is what the Japanese system is kind of like. You go through school, get good grades, go into good high school, go into good high school, get good grades in said high school, go to good college. You get a good college grades. With good college, you get good job career. You get good job career stuff, and you just rise through the ranks and/or eat shit from your employers, because that's essentially the whole cycle of things.
It's like it's anticipating our every move.
Because you know, obviously the working class in Japan deal with a lot of really bad horse shit. Considering they, you know, made a term for death for overworking.
Yeah. Did you hear that Japan is now actually trying to encourage the youth to drink more?
I did not. I heard about that, but I don't know the details.
Essentially, because COVID lockdowns and people not traveling, etc., and like the young people that were meeting up at like bars and stuff that were actually going out, including, you know, all the other issues they have with kids not going out. Well, they noticed y'all are getting a little too rowdy. Y'all were essentially giving COVID to elderly people, so we're essentially closing everything down at 8 o'clock at night, and, you know, we're going to try and, for public health reasons, discourage drinking. Well, now they aren't getting tax revenue. The youth have gotten a lot more health conscious over the last 2 years, and all of their alcohol industries are failing, and they're not getting enough tax revenue to support many of the plans they had in place. So they're like, okay, quick reversal. It's a tradition in this country. We need you to drink more. Please start drinking.
Yeah, because the younger people are not getting dumbed down by the beer, so so they're essentially being like, hey, so art society is kind of garbage, and I'm not hungover, so I can actually analyze these things.
Yep.
And now I mean, besides that, obviously, a lot of what you said about the tax revenue stuff, and it's like, wow. Now, I'm not gonna, like, part of it is also because drinking in Japan is pretty much like the thing you do with your coworkers or friends. Like, you get, like, the common thing to do is get shit-faced. Like, it's so common there that there's even an Instagram account called Shibuya Meltdown. For those that don't know, Shibuya is a district in Tokyo that's essentially like Tokyo's equivalent to Times Square. Even has a big ass crossing. And this Instagram account essentially documents the aftermath of people who have had probably 4, 5, 7 too many drinks, and just seeing the crazy positions they're in. Like people having their heads rested around the squatting toilets or people passed out standing up, which is when I saw that infamous Halloween in Shibuya video where 4 guys tipped over a pickup truck. Also, Teddy's going Super Saiyan.
Yep. Yeah, I remembered, like, at the end of the battle, you can't actually do any damage to her. It tells you that your attacks won't connect, so all you can do is essentially guard.
It's a scripted loss.
Yeah, you have to script lose, and then the actual fight continues, essentially, with the Teddy boss fight.
I do love this portrait, though. This is...
Yeah.
I'm surprised I don't see more people using that as a profile pic.
Honestly, yeah, that's not a bad one. Especially for those weeks where you just feel like kind of out of it and lost. You're just like, yeah, no, I get that
I'm
one.
disassociating, Kanji. I've had one too many edibles since they became legal in Inaba, so now I'm disassociating. I listened to echoes while high one night and it changed my life.
I don't know how good or bad my Teddy impersonation is, but I figured that's something you'd say.
Yeah. I like that portrait too.
Yeah, that's also good. Sam Riegel, man.
Oh,
He's
God,
a good actor.
yes. Yeah, as fine as the bear gets.
He's just turned into a Paper Mario character.
Mm-hmm.
Am I? I'm sorry. It's all my fault. When was the last time someone said that to me?
Yeah, so Rise is like the first character I'm going to freaking max out on the bike rides.
How is that a good? Do you get a good benefit out of that?
Yeah, since she's passive in all future combats, and you don't necessarily make a skill set for her persona, and it just becomes an assist character, it literally just buffs the persona's passive abilities.
Right, gotcha. I'm not like I know how to min-max Persona 5 to some extent. I don't know much about this game.
I was trying to figure out, but I realize now that I was on the wrong track. There is no real me. It just doesn't exist.
I'm disassociating, Kanji. What do you mean there's no real me?
Yeah, we're about to go here.
Teddy, what are you talking about? What do you mean you're disassociating? And what the hell's CBD oil?
Yosuke told me to put some of it under my tongue. I was getting really annoying. He was really annoyed with me one day and said, "Here, this'll calm you down."
Honestly, I love the
You
look
see-
of her actual persona.
It is really
That
cool.
was a pretty cool one.
Funny enough, CBD oil actually is legal in Japan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I learned about it from a video I saw where this guy was going into an isolation pod where you essentially float in a saltwater pod with complete sensory deprivation. I don't know how long you can be in there, but you're in there for a hot minute, and you have the option of having CBD oil to essentially relax you further.
Hey, Teddy.
I'm trying to think of the philosopher that essentially pushed nihilism.
Soren Kierkegaard?
Sounds familiar, but I'm not thinking that one.
I believe it is, because I remember the Twitter account Kierkegaardashian, which was funny.
Oh god. But either way, just this is pure nihilism and I love it. Like, Shadow Teddy is the freaking best.
Shadow Teddy literally looks like the aftermath of Yosuke. These edibles ain't shit.
Just eats the entire jar of CBD gummies.
Yeah, essentially.
Bam, Shadow Teddy. I can see sound.
I see sound, Yosuke.
I taste colors.
I know the lottery numbers, Yosuke.
Don't tell me. Is that the other Teddy? Teddy's hidden thoughts? I believe so, but it seems like there's more. I felt some powerful presence intervene.
What's going on? Whoa!
God, that portrait's
God,
so terrifying, though.
Just imagine if
So-
Teddy normally looked like that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he
Honestly,
is essentially
no,
a shadow.
If Teddy looked like that normally, he'd be an SMT character.
Pretty much.
That's the deal. He'd be full-on SMT mainline mascot.
You have no means to know it's the truth.
Go on TikTok, see a funny video and chuckle for a couple seconds, then the dread seeps in.
You're saying? You're just making it sound difficult because I'm not that smart.
At least he's self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
Tell, but I'm thinking as hard as I can.
Just cutting him to the quick.
That's a lie.
What's spelling? I don't know the alphabet.
I said shut up.
But like his rejection isn't saying you're not me. He just full on tries to attack his shadow.
I have 100% shredded abs. I did the full P90X exercise, Teddy. It's the slit mouth too.
Yeah,
Like, that's
I freaking
also-
love it. Like, if
it's-
this game came out even like 2 years later and they could kind of get that look on his model more effectively, oh my god, this would be awesome to see.
Yeah.
Because, like, I love the green with, like, the light yellow effect in the center of his eye, like his pupils, and then, like, goes to the orange where the model's just that straight orange.
Yeah.
Like, if you could almost one-to-one these things, god, he would be creepy looking.
I picture like a mod of like Resident Evil 2 or 3 where it's this thing coming at you instead of Mr. X or Nemesis.
Dude, that'd be kind of cool, actually.
Did I plant the seeds?
You
Did
may
I plant
have.
the seed? Did I plant an idea in your head?
Yeah.
Some talented 3D modeler out there is going to probably try it. I mean, if
I
people
might
are
have
making-
to give a furry 3D artist some commission money and be like, yo, I need this in VR chat right now.
Yeah.
Like, merge this with Mr. X and tell me how much it costs.
Yeah. I mean, people are already making Nemesis into Thomas the Tank Engine.
Pretty much.
Get ready, everyone. Hey, don't tell me you're fighting with us. You can't take it. I'm okay. I should be able to take that bear's place. It's my turn to save you all.
Treat us to Mapo Tofu afterwards.
Mm-hmm. God, I love this design, man.
It's pretty good.
It's so good. Like, I remember when I first saw this as a kid, I was like, oh, dude, I would love to, like, see this as a theme park or something. Like, I wanted to, like, be next to that.
Kind of Cheshire Cat-like.
Yeah.
Because of like the whole like eyes in a void thing, reminding me of the Cheshire Smile.
Was that creepy thing really inside our Teddy?
Yeah, I like how like the eyes are modeled too. Like you can tell they're attached to something, but they're floating behind the actual like shell.
Yeah, they're not
So they're
like a
almost
texture.
like desynced. Yeah, like the way they float and go in and out when the camera pans, you see like the eye getting cut off a little bit. It's kind of neat. Plus, I love the texture on the claws. Like the fur almost looks kind of bloody and matted. Like, what the hell did this guy go through? This was Freddy Fazbear before Freddy Fazbear.
Well, at least for and then Glamrock Freddy came around and started awakening people.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe just further reinforcing some people's awakenings. I don't know. I haven't played them. I was never really into Five Nights at Freddy's fad.
Yeah, fair enough, but I'm just saying, man, when it comes to like a stuffed bear as an enemy, this works for me. Like, this just does something looking at this. Like, I don't know what attraction I can say I have to this, but like the rust around the collar and stuff, like, this is the kind of like grim, dark shit I just wish I could turn Houston into and like make every building look like this facade. Like, please.
Okay, we now know that Jordan wants to turn Houston into Halloween Town.
Hell yeah, I would love that.
Jack, our architect Jordan is looking to make a gigantic Teddy replica from Persona 4, Jack. I need you to convince him to not take city refuse to do so.
God, if I could do a Jack Skellington impersonation, that'd be something. The closest I can do is the mayor.
Yeah.
But hopefully all that leveling does you well in this fight.
Oh, I probably will.
Wait, what is... Wait, can you check... I know you can check what a move does in that menu. Isn't Cruel Attack the one that does damage when an enemy's knocked down?
Yeah, it does. I just unlocked it.
Okay, yeah. So I guess when you knock him down, instead of all out attacking, just go ahead and
see what happens.
use that. Yeah. Do you have any other personas on you besides Pyrojack?
Yeah, I do. Let me see what they do real quick. Honestly, Pyrojack's probably a good idea because he is a. And I have Evade Ice, so that'll make me immune to him. Actually.
Well, probably not immune, but it helps you.
Like doubles my chances of avoiding attacks.
Yeah. So maybe. Well, there you go.
Let me see. Decrease one foe's attack. There we go. That's
yeah. Perfect.
Also good use.
I think between Jack Frost or Pyrojack, I like Pyrojack more. Maybe it's because I love the
I just wish they'd bring back Jack the Ripper. Or did you not know SMT actually has its own Jack the Ripper?
I didn't know that. I thought you meant actual Jack the Ripper. I was like,
no,
buddy,
he's one of the Jack Bros. They used to be triplets.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yep, he walks around with a barber's straight razor, and he's called Jack the Ripper.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so we had another little Jack Bro who was essentially Sweeney Todd. And I'm just like, please put him back in the game.
I was just mentioning that I like Pyrojack design because I tend to like designs that have wide brim hats and cloaks to them.
This is true. That design has both.
It's okay. How do I put this? Wide brim hats, cloaks, and bladed weapons are the trifecta for me for designs that just I immediately gravitate towards. I don't know why, but I just do.
All right.
Like, what would you say is a character design thing that you always really like? Whether it's like clothing wise, character build wise.
I mean, I will say on this, I love like damage and decay. Like, I love
Okay.
things that are heavily worn. Like, you can tell, like, if it's really ripped jeans or if it's, like, fashion jeans. No. I want the, like, damaged, ripped up, dirty, muddy jeans. I want, like, that jacket a dude has worn for 3 years and it's gotten really sun bleached. Like, I love clothing and designs that are aged to hell. That's like why I think I love this boss design so much, because it's like, yeah, nah, he was a cute toy once and like the ceramic is cracking, there's rust in the metal, there's matting in the fur. It's like, God, yes, this is beautiful. I love just decay and, like, I guess, you know, it's hard to put a word on, but like just the mess of time. Like,
Yeah.
what happens to things is they just age. Because it's not always decay, but things accumulate, and dirt and deposition and just character that gets put into something.
Yosuke, I overdosed on ketamine, Yosuke, and now I'm going to die.
But yeah, for pretty much all kinds of designs, I've always liked cloaks and wide brim hats. And if they have a bladed weapon, then even better.
Yeah.
Like, what are some examples?
Bonus
There's
damage
that-
to foes that are down, just to let you know.
Yeah. There's
Actually, damage to one foe. Yeah, I
there's
should
V
just
from
get rid of
there's
that.
V from V for Vendetta. That's one. I don't know. Would Batman count? I guess Batman would count. Because of the cape. There's that. Is it Thymesia? I don't remember. There are a lot. I don't know. Just there's the. I know. There's the protagonist of an upcoming Metroidvania game that I'm really excited for, called Crowsworn. I think I showed you the trailer for it a while ago, but the main character's got like a red cloak and a red top hat and wears a plague doctor mask and wields a scythe and a gun, and I'm like, this is literally all favorites for me in one.
Heck yeah.
I don't know what it is, but. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like a whole body length cloak or anything. But like characters' arms being covered with a wide brim hat for me just does it for me. I love that kind of look.
Heck yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else is a character design thing I really like. Probably visual tells of a person's age or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know how to put it. I don't know. There are a lot of things that you can appreciate in a good character design. Probably like a proper color coordination or a piece of standout accessory that kind of stands well with the outfit color-wise. Oh. I'm imitating Frieza, Yosuke. I watched all of your Dragon Ball Z DVDs.
Yeah.
It's going to attack.
Actually, that's probably be more Broly.
Okay, I wish, like, I had read that a little better and just upped defense and then guarded.
Well, now you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because at
Well, either
least,
way,
like, that's a very readable attack.
Yeah, it is. But now at least you have the pattern down, so the fight should be
Oh,
pretty
yeah, it's
trivial.
just, it's a long fight.
Yeah, because it's essentially tutorializing Risei's usefulness in the party. That's kind of why these boss fights are back-to-back the way they are.
Yeah. Just do Rampage.
Actually, I wonder if you can even down this boss. Like, I know for all the others you can, but
I think you
this
have
guy, I
to,
don't know.
don't you?
I don't think so. Because I don't even remember seeing what his down state looks like. Uh-oh.
Trying to think. I think I have something I can use. Elements. Flex magic one time. Yep.
I think use that on Pro Tag.
Yeah, because I got a...
Because he got a concentration off, and if that hits you...
Yeah, I used
if that
Pro
hits
Tag to break attack, but he uses ice attacks, so... you know,
not to mention...
and I have
not to mention
Pyro
its
Jack on me.
Not to mention its concentration, which I think is separate from the actual stat boosting spells,
Yeah.
along with the physical attack one.
There we go.
Well, turns out you had the right idea.
Yeah, but it healed Teddy.
It's 100 damage or so. You can probably hit him.
Oh
for that
yeah, no,
much.
I can hit him for that much. Go ahead and keep that attack down if I can. Yeah, one attack
Yeah.
nearly does it.
Yeah, you should be good. But now you know that maybe you ought to go for a more nullifying thing rather than a reflective thing.
Yeah. I'll see if I have anything to nullify. I don't think I do.
Well, I mean, I guess the best nullification would be a block. So I guess what I think will happen is he does the concentration thing and then he does an ice attack immediately after. So that's probably something to keep in mind.
Yeah. There it is.
But at least you're doing some good damage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I take it sometimes you're not really that much of the item hoarder when it comes to boss fights or RPGs in general.
Not really. I mean, especially now that I have a good way to get money.
Yeah. Because, like, there are a lot of times in RPGs where you do want to save a lot of the things that are super valuable, like your mana restoration stuff, your permanent stat boost stuff, because who knows, you may encounter a wall where you might need them, but that wall might never come.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like they gave me these items to not use.
Yeah. It's just funny to see people have the mind goblin scenario of like, I need to keep this in case big fight happened. Big fight came, but you dealt with it without needing the item, and you're like, but I still need them though.
Yeah, no, you don't.
At endgame and endgame where you still have stat boosting items. But what if I need it though?
I doubt it.
I don't know. It's just gotta love the mind goblins. It's that in RPGs and then hidden walls and Metroidvanias for me. Those are the mind goblin activators. Is that if I ever find a hidden wall in a Metroidvania, I just go like, God damn it, I need to check everything now.
Yeah. Well, also, like, on the Pro Tag right now, I don't have a healing persona equipped.
Oh, no.
So, all I really have are items. You didn't realize that, did you?
I didn't know you didn't have a persona at least that had healing. Oh, no.
Yeah, so that's why you see me just doing debuffs and buffs with him.
Okay. I did not know that. Well, at least you got a counter off.
Mm-hmm. Probably put on reset. Let's see.
You're close to halfway at least. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
good.
like he's not a hard guy to take down. It's just time
just the fact that it's-
consuming to take down.
It's just a back-to-back fight too. That's never really a good combination.
Mm-hmm. See how much damage I can do with this. Yeah, I think I'm actually doing more with the multi-hits.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of the whole adage. Is just you have multi-hitting attacks, so there's a chance that they hit multiple times and do more. Like, God. Recently, there was a new Pokemon trailer that revealed a new item that actually makes it more likely for multi-hitting attacks to hit.
Yeah, I saw
more
it was
frequently.
the competitive trailer for the new Pokemon games.
I didn't expect that they would make a trailer for the competitive scene. That's an interesting
that is pretty cool.
addition. I mean, yeah, that is cool.
And
for
probably
those that-
showed us like the pre-evolution of the, the legendary in this game.
I don't know if that is a pre-evolution, but
I think it is. I honestly think the cover creatures aren't technically legendaries.
I don't know. I'm not going to make any judgments about it because I'm going to be completely frank. I don't know how I'm going to feel about getting Scarlet or Violet. Like they look... I haven't really seen enough of them to judge if whether or not I want to get the game. And if I get the game, there's a high chance I could get it on my birthday because Pokemon games, for the last 20-ish years have always released on around my birthday. That's just been the cycle. To the degree that my 20th birthday was when the Pokemon Anniversary's 20th time was. God, I don't. Let's see. It was Pokemon's 20th anniversary, and I was turning 20, and I think the only thing was missing was that the game didn't release on November 20th, which is my birthday. Like they've released around, but I think the last game I know that came out on my birthday was Zelda Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
I remember getting that on release. Which, from what I feel like people have warmed up to that game a bit more as the years gone by.
Yeah, but originally that was not a very beloved game.
No. And I can understand why. The motion controls were ass to some extent. Sometimes, like when the motion controls felt cooperative and things were working fine, it was actually a pretty decent enough experience. But the backtracking and some of the awful repetition of things, I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I will stand by and say that up until Breath of the Wild Zelda, which I could argue probably still is not as strong, I feel like Skyward Sword Princess Zelda is probably one of the best Zeldas in the franchise.
Yeah, I can give you that.
Because, she and Link had a history together, so it's like, yeah, Link has a motivation to save Zelda besides Princess must save, yes. I don't know. Felt like there was character there.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Zelda entry? Or do you not have one? Because you weren't a Nintendo kid growing up.
I wasn't. But my first Zelda I ever played was Twilight Princess.
Okay. That's a good entry. A lot of people like that
one.
one.
I absolutely never beat it.
And it's a shame that it's more difficult to play now in regards to the fact that Nintendo still haven't fucking released that, and the Wind Waker HD remaster on Switch. It's like the ports for Ocarina of Time on Switch is ass. They ported Skyward Sword and managed to make it work without the motion controls. But come the fuck on. Like, why not port two of your most popular entries in the franchise, your HD versions, over to the Switch? You literally fucking...
Well, I mean, yeah, you did it for the Wii U. You've already done half the work. I don't know. I mean, I'd say my favorite is probably A Link to the Past, and I never beat it, but I got the original SNES cart, and I've probably played through like 3/4 of it in high school. I just never really sat down to finish it. But gameplay-wise, I think that was probably the strongest. Then Four Sword, I beat that in a day. I've played Oracle of Seasons. Link's Awakening, I played the PC remake that fans did a few years back. It was okay. The 3DS remake of Majora's Mask and the N64 game, I'm forgetting the first, Ocarina of Time, love them. I played both and beat both. And I actually have the original N64 version of Ocarina of Time, and I've played most of that. I probably got about halfway through, and that was again in high school, and something happened. I never picked up my N64 again and didn't beat it, but I beat it later on the 3DS, and that was pretty good. I probably prefer the 3DS version, in all honesty.
Yeah, a lot. Okay, so I don't know what it is, but for some reason when it comes, I mean, maybe it's because capturing footage on the 3DS is a really big pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, I hear that a lot of people weren't that big of a fan of the Majora's Mask remake on the 3DS. I don't know for what reason, but I'm not gonna try and force it. I've actually not really played it entirely myself.
That's a pretty good remake. I mean, I get, like, they changed the way some of the jumps and, like, basic things worked because they put in a new engine and then tried to, like, one-to-one some of the code, which means areas where, like, you had to be the Deku Shrub, like, the platforming doesn't work the same, and some of the jumps you could make that were easy on the N64 are now a challenge. There are downsides to the 3DS release. Like, they did do some downgrades by trying to incorporate original code in a new engine. And, okay, I get that. It is probably not the superior version in every way, but I will say it is now the most accessible version, unless you're emulating an N64.
Yeah. And then you have Wind Waker, and I love Wind Waker. It's like my favorite Zelda, you know?
You know, it's a lot of people's. I did play that on the GameCube. A friend lent it to me as a kid. I only got through, like, the first little mountain dungeon where you had to get, like, the big burb. I remember that. And that's when me and that friend had the debate of if it was Siddle or Seidel. And to this day, it's Siddle.
Siddle.
Yeah, where you have to put, like, your back to the wall and you're siddling along the ledges to, like, creep through the dungeon.
That is a weird...
Yeah, there's actually a command input that writes on the screen, like, you press B to siddle. And he was like, Seidel. And I'm like, no, that's Siddle. And it was always an argument between us, but I will defend it that it is siddling. You are siddling along the ledge.
Yeah, my deal is just, I enjoyed it, and I like the Toon Link stuff because it's just aged so well. And then the HD remake, it's like, it took care of a lot of some of the stuff that was really annoying in the original GameCube version, like the Triforce hunting and the sailing even was fixed up because they gave you this sail that essentially let you go faster and not have to change the wind constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, port the fucking version over. Come on.
It's like you already made the best version. Just re-release it on a system people actually bought.
Yeah.
Because I have a Wii U. I like the Wii U. I hate the controller that came with the Wii U.
I would probably consider getting a Wii U, or I would have if I had the money, I would have definitely gotten a Wii U and then probably used it to get a bunch of virtual console games before it shut down.
You know, that is
year.
literally now like my main argument for why the Wii U is still relevant.
It's the virtual console.
It really is the virtual console, and that I feel it is the like best way to experience GBA games in general.
Yep. I mean, it's the way that you can play Minish Cap, which is my favorite portable Zelda game.
Yeah, like it's a pretty great little console if you use it for that. Also, I love this like phased animation where the eyes are like desynced.
Yeah.
Like this is such a good design. Just overall, love this design. Now we're just gonna.
Oh, and the virtual console could also let you play those the two old Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem games, the ones I started out with.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, overall, that virtual console on the Wii and the Wii U is still one of the better markets anyone ever came up with for a console.
And
it offered so much.
The thing is that it had its flaws.
Oh yeah, no, it's not perfect, but like for what it offers, man.
The flaw that came to mind that a lot of people brought up was that your purchases on one console didn't carry over to another, so you couldn't re-download the game even if you had a proven receipt. Yeah. So like say you own a Wii, or you owned a Wii back when the Wii shop was still up, and you bought Super Castlevania 4.
Yeah.
Just to bring an example. And you bought it, you played it a bunch, and you like it, but then the Wii U's coming around the horizon, you realize, okay, my hardware is getting old, my Wii's not going to last forever, and there's only so many times a repair could actually salvage what's going on. So I've got a Wii U, and I had the virtual console up. Okay, I'm going to re-download Super Castlevania 4 so I could maybe try doing some speedrun exploits or something. Yeah. Or just do a run where I only use sub-weapons. I don't know. I don't know. This scenario in my head has the person being an absolute psychopath.
Gotcha.
But then they're like, wait, I can't re-download it even though I have a proven receipt? I have to buy the game twice?
Yep. Because, and I think this is now fixed with the Nintendo account. Like, hopefully if they release a sequel to the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Store should be able to carry over purchases to the next system so long as they make it backwards compatible.
But they're not going to because they know their fans will buy it anyway. That's the thing. It's like
shitty practice. You're not wrong, but I think like the issue with the Wii was you didn't actually have a Nintendo account until like the Wii U. It wasn't really a thing. So now that they enforce a Nintendo account and like we are transferring data and those receipts are linked to our email more efficiently, like I think we could step in the right direction where just because of the initial design where all it was an HD GameCube with slight online connectivity back in 2006. Yeah, they could have done better.
The Wii wasn't HD.
It was outputting 480i, which compared to the GameCube was slightly higher, and you can get an HDMI converter that will let it output at native 720. So it is like bare bones HD, but it was a slight just HD improvement over the GameCube with motion controls and slight online connectivity.
Okay. Yeah, but then the Switch comes along and has that online thing, but I have bitched about that for as long as I ever can, and I probably will keep bitching about it because it's terrible.
It is a terrible service.
And the fact that they're probably going to have the GameCube expansion thing be like, oh, we're expanding it to the GameCube
for another $30.
Or at minimum maybe keep it into the $60 range yearly thing, and it's like, fuck off, because your online services don't even do very well, because a lot of Smash players who do online matches get kicked from their shit, and they're like, this is what we're paying annually for? God damn, Nintendo's like the most frustrating company to ever be following in gaming. Because at least with EA, you know they're transparent.
Yeah, they're transparent that they want to be assholes. Nintendo's like, well, look, we might be doing assholish practices, but we do love to make money and that we have such passionate customers. So we want to give you a little bit, but what you want isn't what we want to do, and we don't really know how to find a middle ground most of the time.
Yeah. At least they're recognizing employees that... At least they're recognizing same-sex marriages.
I mean, good for them.
That is a big... That's good for their PR.
It is good for the PR.
And frankly, due to it being a Japanese company that recognized it, that's pretty important, I'd say. Because, like, same-sex marriage, I don't know what the laws are in Japan for that, but I imagine that's a pretty big...
Yeah, it's still not recognized legally. Like, they have civil partnerships in, like, a few areas of Japan where, like, the city or prefecture will recognize it, but the actual country will not.
Right.
Because, like, if you die and you had a same-sex partnership, because of how, like, their inheritance laws work, you cannot say y'all adopted a kid and it was on his side of the family that did the paperwork. You can't leave anything to that child. So it has to go within your family line.
So Nintendo recognizing that is big for a lot of the employees that probably are in those relationships and do want to adopt a child.
My persona's very round and friend-shaped.
Yeah,
just
I
like
actually
me.
listened to the like video dissecting what his persona was, and it was actually really cool. Like the historical figure they pulled it from, and design-wise, I was like, oh, that's pretty neat.
Oh, that's the thing that I've always liked about these games is figuring out these historical and/or fictional or mythological influences for these designs. And again, the interpretations that are done by the character designer, it always looks so interesting to see what they come up with.
Yeah.
Like that Zoroastrian water goddess we talked about before, or the or Fafnir, or I guess Zeus. I wouldn't have, because both of us have played SMT5 and we know what Zeus looks like in that game, and it's like not an idea that we would have gone with, but it is a unique one. That is something we could give.
Yeah, the only issue I have with like the direction going forward, especially like looking at some of SMT4 where they're getting rid of like some of the older designs, is they're becoming maybe a little too like biomechanical. It's just a weird direction for some of them. Like, it makes sense for the angels usually to have that design because it's like all angels kind of get this biomechanical look, but then again, they're meant to be like servants or automatons of Yahweh. So,
yeah,
okay. But when other creatures, aside from Fafnir, because I kind of like Fafnir, like aside from those,
so good.
And it's a thing that's also kind of leaked into Persona. I don't know. I like the old designs from like the late 80s, early 90s SMT. And I kind of hope they can stay in that direction, but I get it. There's new artists coming into the series. But it's like OG Strange Journey versus Strange Journey Redux. I prefer the art direction of the original Strange Journey, even if I like some of the improvements they put in Redux. It's like,
kind of like
I want the gameplay of Redux, but the actual storyline and design of the first Strange Journey.
Kind of like not kind of. In spirit, so to speak, of the Radiant Historia remaster on the 3DS, which is also a game you should get before the 3DS eShop shuts down. Where they got a new art style done on top of the full voice acting, which is good, by the way, because Xander Mobus plays the main character in that game. The new art style for Radiant Historia that was done for the 3DS remaster, I'm not the biggest fan of it. They made it look way too anime. To the degree that they took the princess character in that game, which had one of the most unique looking princess designs I've seen in a video game, and just turned her into such an anime looking, such a standard cookie cutter anime princess, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no.
He's back.
Just I shake my head each time. Anyway, Dojima's plastered.
Yeah.
That'll be the carpenter, sir. Come on, take your anger out on the house. That won't solve anything.
Don't you just love the whole drinking culture?
Yeah. She's literally right there.
Yeah.
I like how
Poor
she's
Nanako.
worried.
Sorry, but
Poor Nanako.
go get his futon.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, just lay him out on the couch.
Frankly, don't even take him upstairs to sleep.
No, yeah, just set the futon on that carpet right there.
Set him on his side so he doesn't choke, and just make sure he has access to the restroom.
I've been in this line of work since you were all learning your times table.
Hmm,
And some don't even retain the times tables.
this is true.
You know, we haven't really made any progress on the serial murder since they started in April. So this special support is supposedly a hotshot detective from a well-known private agency. But you should have seen the look on my face when I met him. He's only a kid your age. I hear he's a pretty sharp cookie.
No, he's a brat like any other. Nothing he can do to help. He goes on and on about
Or Dojima.
face or no.
God, oh god, I'm now associating the name Dojima with Dojima from Yakuza.
Oh wow.
Like the patriarch Dojima, you know who I'm
Yeah, I
talking.
know
You
who
remember
you're
who I
talking
mean?
about. Mhm.
The actual human nutsack who looks like Hojo from
Yeah, with the bald head.
Final. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just wait, bald head.
Shine the higher-ups took to him after that.
I think you're thinking of Shimano.
Maybe. It's been a little while since I played Yakuza.
I don't know. For those that know what I'm talking about, it's like when I think of Dojima, I don't immediately think of this guy. I think of Yakuza because I've been playing a shit ton of those games. And then I think back to Patriarch Dojima and I'm like, ugh, I hate that guy.
His boots.
All right, Dojima son, up and at him. Nanako-chan.
Yeah, we've all had nights like that.
Yeah, just nights where it's just like, literally the only one worry you want to have is how drunk should I be getting?
Mm-hmm.
Sucky here.
Yeah.
Have you had sake?
Yeah, I have. I like sake.
I'm hit or miss on it. Depends on the type that I get. I know for certain the kinds that I don't want to get, which is that kind where it's the where it's like you peel a tin lid off of a glass jar.
Oh, no, yeah.
No, you don't get the cheapo stuff when it comes to the sake. Like that stuff I would equate to Smirnoff vodka, where it's like you don't grab that to have a good drink with people. You grab that because you want to get drunk for the night.
Oh, God, yeah. Even then, ugh.
Yeah, it just tastes like Garbo.
Yeah, no, that's not good drinking. That is...
So how long have we been going through? Because we
Oh,
went through that.
we're over an hour now. Like, that boss battle probably took a good 30, 40 minutes. I was just going to, like, go do a job or something since we seem to be talking.
Well,
And,
well, I think maybe this would be a good spot, if any, to end it.
yeah, I'm fine with that, actually. Let me just stay at the high school and save real quick.
Go save in the classroom. I think that'll be it.
Yeah, and then, I'll probably grind a little. And we'll be back for another episode when, the girl recovers.
Yeah, be back for another episode whenever we're able to schedule ourselves.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Which we
next
should
we'll
be
probably be doing Ace Attorney, so.
Yeah. We've been kind of keeping a consistency level with our schedule, or we're attempting to. So
Yeah, we're
bear with us on
attempting
that.
to,
We're still
so.
figuring this out.
Exactly. All right. Hasta la pasta, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Open Couch Gaming for more video game antics.